Dullahan, also known as the Headless Rider, meaning dark man, is an eerie Irish folk legend. This ominous being appears as a man or woman riding a black horse, but the rider does not have a head on his shoulders. He is headless. The Dullahan carries his head under his arm. It appears dead and rotten, sometimes even looking more like wormy cheese than meat, but the hair is perfectly straight. With an evil laugh that spreads from ear to ear, Dullahan wanders in the darkness, terrorizing his surroundings as he carries his head and searches for his victim. The rumors about him are truly frightening. Dullahan carries a whip made from a human spine. Some sources also say that he pulls a wagon tied to his horse and decorated with funeral goods. In this wagon are skulls filled with candles to light the way. The wheels of the wagon are made of people's thigh bones. Meat gnawed by worms and dried human skin were stretched over the wagon as a canopy. Dullahan roams the roads on his horse, from whose nostrils flames are also said to come out, looking for a victim. He brings death to people wherever he is seen. When he meets someone, he rides towards them. If he stops riding, it is a sign that someone will die. It is said to be incapable of speech, but on one occasion it opens its mouth. When Dullahan says someone's name, that person immediately dies in pain. The Irish historian William John Fitzpatrick, who lived in the 1800s, summarized an incident that happened to him. "I saw Dullahan myself, standing late one evening on the hill between Bryansford and Moneyscalp as the sun was setting. He was completely headless, but he was holding his own head in his hand. I heard him say a name, and I covered my ears for fear it was mine, so I couldn't hear what he said. When I looked again, he was gone. But a short time later, there was a bad car accident on that hill and a young man was killed. Dullahan said his name. The fact that Dullahan is headless does not mean that he has lost some of his qualities. In particular, he has superior eyesight. By raising his severed head, he can see far into the darkest night. Thanks to this ability, he can easily identify and sacrifice people who are close to death. No one can block Dullahan's path or erect barriers. All doors and locks open when he approaches. Dullahan does not like to be watched while he is busy with his victims. If anyone dares, he splashes a little blood on them. This is a sign. Whoever is marked with blood by Dullahan will be the next victim. Dullahan also uses a whip to remove the eyelashes from the eyes of unfortunate people who dare to follow him as punishment. Dullahan is also rumored to dismount from his horse and wander. It is rumored that he finds the houses of people approaching death and knocks on their doors. If the person was unaware and opened his door, Dullahan would mark him with blood. But Dullahan has a weakness. He is said to be afraid of gold. That is why people carry gold with them wherever he is seen. Even a single gold coin can be enough to drive Dullahan away. In the records of the county of Galway in Ireland, the following is written about this subject. A man was walking home at night on the road between Roundstone and Ballyconneely. It was getting dark and he suddenly heard the sound of horse hooves on the road behind him. He looked around and saw Dullahan riding towards him on his horse. He started to run, screaming, but something behind him kept closing the gap. If he hadn't thrown the gold coin from his shirt pocket into the road, he would have been easily caught and carried away by the rider. There was a roar all around. When the man looked back, Dullahan was gone. Dullahan first appeared in Celtic mythology in the 6th century as the god Crom Dubh, or Black Chrome. He continued to be seen in the Sligo and Down regions until 500 years ago. In terms of mission, it can be thought to be synonymous with the Grim Reaper in religions. The Crom Dubh festival is organized every year in Ireland. However, people are still warned. It is recommended to close the curtains and not to leave the house, especially in late August and early September, the nights of the festival. If the area is visited during such a period, it would be wise to keep some gold nearby. Sleepy Hollow, the dark entity known as the Ghost Rider, was also born from the legend of Dullahan. Washington Irving was inspired by Dullahan in his 1820 short story, The Legend of the Ghost Rider. This story was later adapted into a movie in 1999 with the film Sleepy Hollow, Ghost Rider, starring Johnny Depp. As the story goes, the Ghost Rider was once a mercenary who fought for the British during the American Revolutionary War. When a cannonball blew his head off, he was buried in a church in Sleepy Hollow, now known as Tarrytown. Legend has it that every night the Ghost Rider would leave his grave and look around for his lost head. And if he couldn't find his own, he would go after people to get someone else's head.